Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your April bonus reading. We're going to just jump right in here, Aquarius, and we're going to do a Celtic cross for your bonus reading. That's it. I'm going to clarify in this reading, and so there won't be a part two, but that'll be that. Let's see what's going on for you here. I feel, I'm pretty sure every single reading I've done for you this month has had something about like an opportunity that you don't want to miss. I don't remember what I titled your latest video, for whatever last week was. But what I would say here is that you have the Devil with the Ace of Pentacles. Sometimes, I don't think this is going to be true for all of you, so take it how it resonates. But what I would say is for some of you, I feel like there could be something. It doesn't even have to be toxic. That's the thing with the Devil. Is that, yeah, the Devil represents toxic energy, but it can also just represent something that is like stealing your energy, and it doesn't have to necessarily be like super toxic. But I kind of feel like there's something that you're giving attention to. Could be a person, a situation, an experience, a job, could be anything. And there's like a much better opportunity for you. Sorry, I'm just throwing cards all over the place. But you have the Ace of Pentacles is your crossing energy. This energy to me represents giving to the wrong things in life. And again, as I always say to you, Aquarius, I'm not calling you out. And what I would say here is that I feel like something needs your attention, needs your energy or whatever. The Ace of Pentacles, there's this garden right here, and it kind of represents something that you have to take care of, like a garden, right? And something that leads to growth. But I feel like that Devil energy could be a current situation that it's like something is stealing your energy. It's like it seems important in my head, which is weird. The Devil situation, whatever it is for you. But I would ask yourself, if there's something that's taking up a lot of time, is it really important or not? You know, I feel it's kind of interesting because I feel good about this reading. I do feel like it's saying you are going to make the change to focus on what actually is important in your life. But I do feel that some of you have been kind of thinking about, like starting something like a project or a business or something. And, I feel like there's been a lot of this mental preparation where you've been thinking about it a lot. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Empress. The Empress is a card of abundance and growth and nurturing energy. And it can also be a card of like a glow up. And I kind of feel that what you are thinking about is the energy that's inside of you. It doesn't matter what gender you are either. I don't attach gender to my cards. This is just your thoughts. So I feel like you are thinking about abundance. You're thinking about something that could be very abundant as well. I think you just need to be careful of the things that, kind of take you prisoner with that Devil energy. Those are like the words that are popping into my head. And your foundation, I feel like you need to see that things can be different. She is sitting where she has always been. There's a new island behind her back here. And she could be fearing hitting those two rocks that are in the water. But if she just were to see the island, she could, take her blindfold off, turn around, she would see the island, and she would be able to walk over to something new. So I feel that for some of you, where it's like, there needs to be change. I do feel like there is going to be a rapid change here, though. I mean, Wheel of Fortune, Eight of Wands here, that to me would say that things are changing very quickly. In the past, you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is like a card of defending your position at the top of the hill. Sometimes I think when we go through a lot of challenges, like I feel like you have over the past few years, it's like maybe we get into a position where things are improving or things have improved, maybe still not great, but like good. And it's like we just tried to maintain that level. I feel like I'm repeating myself, Aquarius. I feel like I said this to you last week. Last week's readings were the week of the 18th, I think, or the 17th. I can't remember. I don't know what day it is. Do I ever know what I'm talking about? No. But whatever day this week is, that I'm shooting. I think it's the week of the 18th, if I'm not mistaken. And what I would say here is, but I could be wrong. Anyway, what I would say here is that I feel like I said in that same reading that it's almost like things might have been good, and it's like, Seven of Wands can represent trying to maintain that level of goodness, even if it isn't greatness. But I feel like you see more for yourself. I mean, look at this. Empress, Wheel of Fortune to the Temperance card. Temperance down here is like trying to make something happen. It's like wanting the turnaround that you can have with the Wheel of Fortune. There's definitely a cycle that needs to come to an end here. And what I would say here is that I feel like there's something that is repeating in your life, some sort of disaster, something like the Devil that keeps popping up. It could be like a person. It's like maybe you have a family member that always has a problem and it always pops up like every 6 months or something. Maybe you can set your watch to it. I feel like you need to pay attention to situations that you can set your watch to. Those are literally the words that are popping into my head here. This could be in work as well. It's like maybe there's a person who always causes a problem every 3 months or something like that. There's some sort of cycle that needs to come to an end. That's part of the Wheel of Fortune. The other part of this is I feel like a quick turnaround that's coming in for you with the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is you realizing that you need to make a change. And those are the words I'm getting there as well. That's not what the Eight of Wands represents, but that's what I'm getting. Over the next few months, you have the Temperance card. I do feel like you are working to change things. Again, Temperance is turning water into wine. It's a card of patience, but really, that Temperance angel is pouring water back and forth. It's like they're actively working to change their situation. So I kind of like this for you. To me, it says you are actively making the changes necessary to hopefully make more progress in your life. In the area of your closest relationships, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a quick conclusion or quick success. This is coming up in your closest relationships, but I kind of feel this is part of your whole life. You know, when I read tarot, I read intuitively. So even though there are meanings to each position here in this spread, I still feel kind of like intuitively that this is more talking about everything that's going on in your life. I feel like there are rapid changes going on here with the Eight of Wands. It has to do with this Empress card. I think it's no mistake that the Empress is coming up in the position of your thoughts, because I think, you know, intuitively I feel really with that Empress card that you're thinking, it's like your daydreams. I think when they're more positive, on the positive side of things, it's like you're dreaming about things that could create abundance, or you're dreaming about things that could, you know, quote unquote, take care of you, like starting a business that kind of supports you and your family, or maybe you're thinking about a health routine that supports your body, or whatever it is you're thinking about, it doesn't matter. But I think in those moments where your thoughts are going to the positive, that Empress is like saying, move in this direction. You've delayed something for too long, and I feel like you need to get to work in the area of your future feelings. Why didn't I start sooner? I feel like that's the question you're asking yourself here, Aquarius, with the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is being too cautious, and I've been feeling that energy for you as well. Again, I'm pretty sure last week I said the same thing, that, you know, there's something about you maybe being too cautious or being worried, being afraid of like rocking the boat with that Seven of Wands energy. I like the Seven of Wands in general, but sometimes, again, I feel that it can be that energy of where you're kind of like fearing rocking the boat. It's like things are good but not great, but you rather not mess things up. And I think this thinking is very muddled thinking. We're going to clarify in a second. We're going to find out. With your outcome, you have the Knight of Swords. Do not go back to the past. Plain and simple. This feels like a mistake to me for whatever reason. Part of me feels like it's a mistake you already made, though, which is weird. I feel like it's connected to that Wheel of Fortune. Again, I read intuitively. I feel like some of you went back to the past. Could be a person. Doesn't have to be. Again, maybe you've just repeated a past mistake with that Wheel of Fortune. Could be any mistake. And I feel like this is kind of the feelings of regret. And again, I would say don't beat yourself up over it. You know, we all make mistakes. I've made the same multiple mistakes, multiple times, over and over and over again. That's how we learn. But what I feel this reading is saying is that you can break a cycle and break away from these mistakes very quickly by just paying attention to them, which I think is, you know, more important, right? But let's clarify through here and see what's going on for you. With the Devil and the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Eight of Wands. Again, that was not in reverse, but for some reason I grabbed it in reverse. And the Eight of Wands is like quick success and quick movement. I would be very careful. Again, I feel like that Ace of Pentacles is almost something that you could invest your time, effort, or energy into. I'm not talking about like it could be a financial investment, but I feel like it's more something that requires growth, nurturing energy, just like the Empress. Could be a new relationship, could be a new business. It could be you kind of making sure that something isn't stealing your energy as well. I keep telling people that with the energy that we have right now, I encourage people to not sacrifice themselves. Like, you know, it's like if you have a person who has a bunch of problems in your life, for example, which I definitely feel here for whatever reason, that might be true for some of you, it's like, are you required, even if it's a family member, it's like, are you required to go down with that ship? Are you required to sacrifice yourself for another person? I would say no. You are not, because that doesn't help anyone. And I would just be careful of that. I definitely get that here. Same thing with work or business as well. With the Empress, you have the High Priestess. Definitely trust your intuition. The Empress is very intuitive, so I would definitely trust your intuition with this energy. And I do feel like this is showing up in the area of your thoughts. I feel like your thoughts are on point right now. So I would keep your thoughts more, and I would also say keep your thoughts more middle ground. You know, the High Priestess, she's sitting between the two pillars on a traditional High Priestess card, and can represent kind of like taking a neutral approach to the things that are going on in your life. And it can just say, you might be thinking things are really good or things are really bad, but really maybe things are in the middle. So it's like kind of like putting things into perspective can be very beneficial with the High Priestess. With the Two of Swords, you have the World. Everything you want is over there on that new island. I'm telling you, go through the transformation. I feel that for some of you, this reading is really about ending a cycle. It's like once you end the cycle, then I believe things will start progressing forward very, very quickly in your life. I do feel like it's a difficult reading. I don't feel like I should be telling people like you have to do these things, right? I don't think that's the whole point of tarot, but what I'm gonna say to you is like I feel like this would be a good exercise to do. If you're not ready for it, you're not ready for it, and that's perfectly fine, right? But what I would say here is I feel like it would be a good time for you to maybe like look again at a cycle that you're repeating and saying, you know, is my life exactly the same as it has been for the past, 10 or 12 years or whatever? Or am I repeating this cycle? Or do the same things keep coming up in my life? And it's going to be different for all of you. And maybe you have to write it down on a piece of paper, like I said, just so that you can see it. I think that's very beneficial. It's like when we write something down, we externalize it. I'm a terrible writer, but I love writing because, I think it's a great way to get things out, right? And we can see it and we can say, oh, this is what's been repeating or whatever. I feel if you do that, then you can say, you know what, I'm focusing on the wrong things. I need to focus on my business, or I should focus on building up my own life or taking care of my own family or whatever. And it's like once you do that, that's going to be the thing that makes things move forward very quickly. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Queen of Cups. Again, very nurturing energy here. Part of me feels like you are being taken care of with the Queen of Cups, but I also feel it's saying you need to protect your own emotions. I'd say especially if people are using your emotions against you. I don't know what it is with you air signs, but it's like lately, and actually even I noticed it last year, there's been a lot of stuff going around for you air signs where I feel like people could be kind of like emotionally taking advantage of you or things like that. I would be careful of that. With the Temperance card, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, it's time for you to be bold and assertive. It's time for you to stick up for yourself and go for what you want. Queen of Wands, she's really bold and assertive. She really makes things happen. So that's what I feel like you need to do here with the Queen of Wands. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Sun. Definitely happiness coming in for you. So I feel like there's a lot of happiness and abundance coming in with that Eight of Wands. I feel like this is more saying what makes you happy. And if you don't know the answer to that question, I feel like you need to figure it out, right? And again, there's no shame in not knowing what makes you happy, because I think that a lot of people don't know actually what makes them happy. I think a lot of people, and if you're saying to yourself right now that it's helping other people, that could be part of it, but it's probably not it, right? Helping other people is definitely a very good thing to do. But I think sometimes in the spiritual community, I've said this before, I'll say it again, I think people just automatically go to helping other people. That might be the answer, but I think us spiritual people should slow it down, right? And say, what truly makes me happy, not everybody else. And because you have to look out for number one, right? So I feel like once you look out for yourself and you figure out what makes you happy, then you can make other people happy. But you can't give from an empty cup. And this reading is really saying that to me. And I always offend people when I say this, but I don't know. Go cry in a corner is what I say to the people that are offended about that stuff. So hopefully that offended you more. But anyway, to the offended, right? But what I would say here is I feel like you have to kind of look out for number one this week here, Aquarius. Not just this week, the entire month. And I would say for like the next 6 months here. And does that mean you can't help people? No, absolutely not. But I would say put yourself first, because you can't give from an empty cup, plain and simple. And again, maybe you need to figure out what makes you happy. Maybe you don't know what it is, and maybe you need to start exploring. With the Knight of Pentacles, you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. You know what's interesting about this combination as well is that the Knight of Pentacles actually says you have everything you need to get started, right? He has these oak leaves on his helmet here, and the horse has oak leaves right here. Oak leaves kind of represent knowledge and wisdom. He has everything he needs. He has more than knowledge. He has wisdom, which is, being able to put his knowledge into action. And he knows things that maybe other people don't know, right? And so I feel for a lot of you that this is saying that you have everything you need. The Five of Pentacles is feeling like you don't have everything you need. So I feel like this is saying, like, don't discount your knowledge. And with the Knight of Swords there, you have the Seven of Wands. We kind of like, it's like we kind of start and end with the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands says, do not argue for your limitations. Isn't it funny that the Seven of Wands is in your past position? And I literally said, do not go back to the past with that Knight of Swords energy. So I feel like you need to set new boundaries that you are not going to drop below. Again, he's defending his position at the top of a hill, but it could also be him kind of like drawing a line in the sand. He's saying, I'm not going to cross over, this line ever again. I'm not going to experience anything less. So I feel pretty heavy reading in a lot of ways because, it has a lot to do with deep personal changes, which I'm pretty sure I said the same thing to you last week, and it is very similar. But good energy because, again, I feel like once you do this, things are going to move forward very quickly. So, I like this for you, Aquarius. I feel like things are going to go very well. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.